Let's face it, the fugitive Doctor was always going to turn up again at some point. But can anyone honestly say the same thing about Kate Stewart and UNIT? The Chief Scientific Officer of the Unified Intelligence Task Force has been absent from our screens since 2015's The Zygon Inversion, and the organisation itself since 2016 Christmas special The Return of Dr. Mysterio. And let's face it, neither Kate nor UNIT were the most interesting thing about the stories they last appeared in. In fact, the last time we saw Kate, she was unconscious, and the last time we saw UNIT, they had maybe just been infiltrated by Harmony Shoal in a plot thread that never went anywhere. It's not quite Android invasion levels of we're just going to drop UNIT from the show now, but equally, neither Kate nor UNIT were given the endings they deserved during the Moffat era, and have remained conspicuous by their absence in the show ever since. This was partially dictated by factors beyond the production team's control, namely Gemma Redgrave's initial stint on Holby City clashing with the filming dates for Doctor Who Series 10, in which she might otherwise have appeared. Indeed, she was at one stage scheduled to appear in the Pyramid at the End of the World, but alas, this was not to be. When Stephen Moffat then left the show, and with the new era dawning, the chances of UNIT returning seemed lower than ever. But in hindsight, the signs were always there. After all, it was incoming showrunner Chris Chibnall who originally devised the character of Kate for Series 7 Part 1 story The Power of Three. Indeed, though absent from his first series at the helm, Series 11, both Kate and UNIT got a surprise name check in 2019 New Year's Day special Resolution. And in an even more shocking and somewhat controversial turn of events for both the Doctor and the viewer, UNIT was revealed to have been practically wiped from the face of the Earth, with all operations put on hold, pending review, following financial disputes and subsequent funding withdrawal by the UK's major international partners. As the despairing Doctor put it, we're on our own. What wasn't quite clear was how long the Doctor and planet Earth would be on their own for. Many took this surprise cameo as a sign that UNIT would soon be back, and bigger than ever, possibly even in Series 12, and this fueled much speculation in the year leading up to its broadcast. Indeed, UNIT did return in Series 12, in a manner of speaking, in the very next episode in fact, Spyfall Part 1. But again, this was just a small name check, this time by MI6 Boss C, as opposed to a fully fledged return. Some suspected that this was setting up a UNIT comeback later in Series 12, but ultimately, Chris Chibnall's priorities ended up lying elsewhere. And I think it's fair to say that the return of the Cybermen and the Master, as well as the revelations about the Timeless Child, gave us enough to contend with as it was. With Chibnall's own time now running out, it was always something of a gamble as to whether he'd take these threads any further, or simply leave them hanging, as Moffat did. But with Kate and UNIT now confirmed to be appearing in Survivors of the Flux, and possibly and probably even beyond, it's clear that he's been playing the long game all along. That he's merely been resting UNIT in order to make their eventual return all the more satisfying. Just like he did before with the Master and the Cybermen in Series 12. There had been murmurings about Kate and UNIT possibly featuring in the Centenary special, and this was all but confirmed when the new UNIT logo was glimpsed at filming in September, but personally speaking, I never in a million years thought they'd appear in Flux. Just as with the Fugitive Doctor last week, their return raises several questions. Namely, how are they operating again, and why? And where did the funds come from? Indeed, have they been operating undercover all this time? If so, why didn't they intervene when the Judoon invaded Gloucester, or when the British government decided to start manufacturing Daleks? Perhaps this last cock-up was the final straw in persuading them to grant UNIT funding again. That and C's death at the hands of the Kasavin. Whatever the case, I am just thrilled to have UNIT and Kate back on our screens once again after so long away, and I really hope you are too. I also really hope you've enjoyed this video, this little quick recap of how UNIT has been presented in the Chibnall era so far. Please comment below your thoughts on how UNIT has been handled in this era and what theories you have going forward as to how it might be integrated into Flux and the specials beyond. Please do also like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel if you're new for more Doctor Who Flux related content. But until the next one, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.